Oh, amazing audience. We are live with Matt Miller, the Matt Miller. I think he's the one guy that came by on a bicycle. But if you know Matt, you know that works out. He was popping a wheelie while he was... No, I'm joking. Matt, it's a great pleasure to connect with you, my friend.
You too, man.
You're real.
Yep, so are you.
I saw you in the virtual thing, you know, I listened to your voice. You sounded like energy in motion, right? But to see you and to see your composure is really fascinating, you know? Yeah.
But you need both, man. That's what martial arts will teach you. You need the inner peace, but then you gotta
blow up sometimes.
Exactly.
So tell me, what's the update? What are you doing? From the last time we spoke about the podcast. We spoke about your fascination with the unknown, if you would. Yeah. What's going on?
So right now I am here in Maine studying with the native elder of the Megamon Nation. He is one of the most fascinating people I've ever met. I seek the planet for the most fascinating people, and I'm here learning from him. So I'm learning a form of martial arts called Shokai. I'm learning traditional education, but the interesting thing about him is that he was also taught a different form of engineering and mathematics. And my friend Robert Grant had his math recently proven, and this is something that this native elder, David, understands completely before it was even proven. So I'm here learning about all that kind of stuff too. So I'm getting a little bit of part of it is intense running, physical training, things like that. And then in the meantime, I'm doing as many podcasts as I can. The book Zen Athlete is selling well. So working on all those things all at the same time.
How do you sleep?
Sometimes. I sleep deeply.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Tell me about like meditation. I'm guessing it's a major part of everything you do, right? Tell me about how you meditate, if you even meditate.
Yeah, so I meditated for a long time. I did 4-month stints, just reading, writing, meditating in Australia a few years ago. But really what you want to be able to do is just clear your mind. People who can't clear your mind, imagine like a bowling ball with honey on it, right? Meditation just allows you to clear off that honey so it rolls down the lane, right? So that's a skill that you can develop. Once you develop that skill, then you can plant in what you want to create. So that's where visualization and you influencing your reality. And then after that, it's moving forward in a reality where you're complete and you're content and you're fulfilled with everything that you have as you are now. And so that's the process for peak performance, for flow state, for achieving in this reality. But we want to give ourselves a goal that we're really passionate about. So meditation is just step one. And you can do it many different ways. So just sit down, get some music, just focus on your breathing, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm going to have fun with this guy. All right, so you're the guy that you're looking for something. Yeah? You're looking for something.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is you're looking for, or would you know when you find it?
It's a good it's a good question. I would answer that, yeah, I'm looking for peace, fulfillment, and what I'm capable of. And so I want to know, you know, when I was doing martial arts as a kid, like is breaking bricks possible? Are there these alternate dimensions? What's happening on the planet? And so when you go to a deep state of meditation, you reach what's called non-local mind, is an easy way to put it, where you just go out of yourself into the void. So I've reached that a bunch of times, and then really what I think what I've come to with all this seeking and searching is figuring out what a good and meaningful life is for you. What do you want to create with your time on this planet, and giving yourself the tools to be able to achieve that?
So between choice, right, and action, what exists there? Between choice and action.
Well, I don't know how to answer that, but before that is the stillness to figure out what like a heart-centered mission is. So our minds are programmed for survival. For us to survive, we need to eat. For us to eat, we need to make money. So when we want to say, what's our infinite reality? What would you do if you had $1 million every single day for the rest of your life? Do that every single day. You probably need less money than you think to do what you're fully passionate about. So there's a meditation that your audience can check out. It's called The Heart Journey. And basically it hypnotizes you into your heart because your heart knows it's eternal. So from that eternal state of being, you can create in this world whatever really fulfills you, but you give yourself a lifetime to go to achieve it.
Yeah. So one of the things I do usually is like 12-week goals, right? And it's a hack really to find out what aligns with me, yeah? So I jump in, I do the work, find myself, see what connects, and then I jump out, right? Is that similar to the concepts that you've been doing, even though it's not a time formatted model? Is it that you're like getting into putting yourself into positions where you have to find your way out and then moving on?
Well, that's a good way to do it, because basically what it comes down to is what is it that you want, create an action plan to do it, but in the space of meditation and visualization, you're giving yourself such more amplitude working with spirit or force or whatever, because that's the realm that it works in. So in sports, when I'm training athletes, it's visualize this trick every single day and you'll be able to land it, and they learn it at light speed.
Yeah.
But with that comes with the internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself? How kind are you? And you can literally program the beliefs in your body, in your mind. Your body's a supercomputer capable of and everything. I'm now unconsciously aware of everything that's going on. If there was a danger, the body would pick it up before I would even know.
Exactly.
So we can program whatever we want, the belief systems and habits and things, to achieve whatever goal we want, but we get wrapped up in the daily life and forget to take the space to just sit and figure out what it is that I want to do the 12 weeks for, right? But when you take action, you're putting the energy in motion. So that's great, it's very similar.
Yeah. One of the segments we cover is your own unique real shoes, right? So many people see your shoes and they'll be like, hey, you got some really nice Nikes, right? But they don't see where you've walked, the journey you've taken. What is one of your own unique real struggles you've had over this journey?
Well, the first thing I think of when you say shoes and walking, I almost died trekking Mount Everest, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's just honestly, it's a daily perseverance of going through something that you're wanting to build. So I don't care what it is in the world. If it means something to you and you want to move that way, you're going to literally have to, it's like a wave going up and down. But if your goal is meaningful enough that whatever that roadblock is will just be a roadblock. But if it's not meaningful enough, a speed bump will stop you.
Yeah.
So I've had lots of roadblocks. I've run out of money badly. Almost died trekking Everest.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
It happens.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
Right, but you know where you're going. It's going to be okay. And when that happened, I was like, well, I'm Canadian. The worst thing that will actually happen is someone will call me on the phone and ask me for money, and I tell them if I had it or not.
Yeah.
If we go into the worst case scenario, it's not that bad usually. Yeah. But what is bad is if we go through our life wishing that we tried to do more, and it's going to require that faith. It's going to be challenging. But you do have the tools to overcome whatever those challenges are. So you just need to make sure it's a meaningful goal.
Folks, the thing he's talking about is easier said than done, right? Just disclaimer. Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
It's definitely better when you do it, but it's definitely challenging because it seems as though it's going across the grain of what society is teaching right now. How do you balance that? How do you balance being in society, seeing the majority living a life where they're just being channeled down somewhere, and you are the proponent for change, for growth, for betterment?
Yeah, it's a good question. For me, I can only control my reality. Anybody out there, they can only control their reality. And so when we start making change within ourselves, that example is what we give the community. And so don't worry about what your parents say, what your culture say, what other people are doing. Get yourself very clear, because I can only affect my reality.
Okay.
One of the tools that I learned from, though, was martial arts. So right now I don't have a car. I have to sketchy bike an hour to class, to work out 2 hours hard, to bike an hour home.
Wow.
There was rain coming here and it's an hour away, and I biked 25 minutes to a bus to take the bus here, to bike in the rain 25 minutes back.
Wow.
Most people would say, oh, it's not comfortable, I don't have a car. but through martial arts, and it's what it taught me is like it's not always easy.
Yeah.
But if I go through with the lens and perspective that I get to do this, that this is joyous, that this is an opportunity, then life begins to unfold. So the big thing is we gotta look at our own conditioning. What are our values? What are our beliefs? What is our self-image? Because what's being projected and taught to us is not empowerment, fulfillment, and our actual power to create in this life.
Yeah.
You know, but you are the only one who can move forward to experience if that's real or not. And you're probably gonna be in a world where everybody thinks you're nuts. Nobody believes in you. Don't do it. You're gonna run out of money. All of these things, and I hear them and know them all the time, even if they don't say anything. But I'm creating my reality from listening to that voice in me. And so then that the outside voice or influence has to be secondary to your inner will and who you are.
Love that. When you heard that this guy from the Caribbean was coming right next to where you would be, what did you think?
Right on.
Right on. What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I'm most excited about studying with my native elder friend, David Lombert Senepas. I highly recommend people check him out. He's just teaching me such interesting things. When I trained in China with the Shaolin Masters, they just taught me to go further than I thought that I could. And so that's part of the teaching here. And what I'm excited about is more kindness on the planet, more people being good to each other, more people just waking up, having to think about what they're doing and what that means for themselves, more people to be happy and fulfilled, more people to just take time for themselves and break out from the things that aren't as important and just take a step and do one act of kindness. You know, I'm excited to see more of that.
Love it. Matt, this was a great pleasure. Before we close, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, the last thing that I'll share is do 3 acts of kindness for 1 week. Go out of your way, don't tell anybody, hold the door open, pay it forward, give somebody a compliment, write somebody a letter you haven't talked to in a long time. If you do those 3 acts of kindness for a week, you will get a universal wink. Something good will happen to you because it's an electromagnetic force that happens only through action. Not thinking, but through action.
Love it. The real deal, guys. The real deal. He's real. Like he's real. He's really real. Amazing audience. Thank you. Boom.